Hey, the Fonz and I welcome you to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This Wandering Walks a Tour will take place throughout the downtown area of Wisconsin, where you get to see a number of historic buildings, as well as many of the sites that are really cool in Milwaukee. Our walk will begin along the Milwaukee River Walk. This is a great place to explore the city on foot, and it goes through the heart of the city, and it will tie together three of the neighborhoods that we'll see: the historic 3rd Ward, the downtown area where we're beginning, and Beer Line B. As we go along our tour today, we'll learn about some of the historic buildings in downtown Milwaukee, take a chance to see and look at some of the unique artwork, as well as just get a vibe of how the city is. Milwaukee is one cool place to visit and walk around. The history of Milwaukee can be traced back to the early 1800s. The city was founded by Solomon Juneau, a French-Canadian fur trader, in 1818. Milwaukee quickly grew into a major trading center thanks to its location along Lake Michigan. By the mid-1800s, Milwaukee was the largest city in Wisconsin and a major center for industry and manufacturing. Milwaukee's population continued to grow throughout the 19th century, and by the 20th century, the city was home to well over 500,000 people. Milwaukee was a major center for the brewing industry, and the city was known as the beer capital of the world. Milwaukee was also a major center for labor activism, and the city was home to several major strikes and protests during the early 20th century. Milwaukee's population declined in the mid-20th century as many people moved out into the suburbs. However, the city has since rebounded, and today Milwaukee is a vibrant and diverse city with a population of over 600,000 people. It's home to a number of major universities, including Marquette University and the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. It's also home to a number of professional sports teams, including the Milwaukee Brewers, the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Milwaukee Admirals. One of the more recognizable buildings in downtown Milwaukee is known as the Ladybug Building. This building is a 12-story office building and was built in 1972, and it was named for the 3 giant ladybugs that are attached to the side of the building. These ladybugs were added in 1999 as part of a city beautification process. The ladybugs are a symbol of good luck and prosperity. They are also known for their ability to eat pests, which makes them a welcome sight in gardens and farms. The ladybugs on the Ladybug Building are a reminder of the city's commitment to sustainability and environmental protection. This very ornate building in front of us is called the Mitchell Building. This building was designed by Edward Townsend Mix and was erected in 1876 for Alexander Mitchell, a Milwaukee banker. Mitchell, along with George Smith, founded the Wisconsin Marine and Fire Insurance Company, which was incorporated under the Wisconsin Territorial Government in 1839. This company was reincorporated in 1846 under the new state banking law as Marine National Bank. The Marine Bank occupied the site in 1846 and occupied this building from the time of its construction in 1876 all the way until 1930. This site is presumed to have been the location of the residence of Solomon Juneau, the trader who founded Milwaukee around the 1830s. This beautiful building ahead of us is the Milwaukee Federal Building. This building has been in use since the late 19th century when the building was constructed in 1892. It was designed by architect W.J. Edbrook in the Richardsonian Romanesque style. The building sits on land that was originally owned by Milwaukee's founder Solomon Juneau. The five-story building is made from granite and encompasses a full city block. There are Roman columns and arches, steeply pitched roofs, multiple towers, and a belfry. Though it was completed in 1892, more space was added during the building during the Great Depression in the 1920s and 1930s. This tall building is known as the Wisconsin Gas Building or the Milwaukee Gaslight Building. It's a classic Art Deco building that is in the downtown area and was completed in 1930. There are differing materials on the exterior that graduate from dark to light as the building goes up. This building we see here with the columns is the headquarters of Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company, one of the largest life insurance companies in the United States. The original headquarters building that we see with the columns was completed in 1914. And just a little bit down the way, and these buildings are connected by various walkways, is a large 32-story, 700-foot tall glass tower that is integrated in with the 1914 headquarters. It's also part of Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company. Our journey now takes us into Center Park. This is a 12-acre park located right along the shores of Lake Michigan. It's home to the Milwaukee Art Museum, the Discovery World, and Betty Brenn's Children's Museum, which we see here right now. The park features a number of outdoor sculptures, a playground, and water feature, as well as some great walking trails and great views of the lake and the beautiful art museum building that we'll see coming up here. It's just a great place to relax and enjoy the outdoors, visit the museums, and just take a look at all of the different artwork that's displayed around this park. The Cathedral of St. John the Evangelist is the Episcopal See of the Catholic Archdiocese of Milwaukee, located here on Cathedral Square Park. This building is listed on the National Register of Historic Places and is designated a Milwaukee landmark. Archbishop John Henney purchased land for the cathedral in 1844, and the cornerstone for the building was laid on December the 5th, 1847. It cost about $30,000 at that time to build the church. It was completed in 1852 and dedicated to John the Evangelist. A fire partially destroyed the church and most of its contents in January 1935. Only the tower remained fully intact. Rebuilding was completed in time for midnight mass on Christmas Eve of 1942. St. John's Cathedral features 13 large hand-cut stained glass windows made by T.C. Esser of Milwaukee. One of the most recognized buildings in downtown Milwaukee is the Milwaukee City Hall. The site was chosen in 1890 and the architect 2 years later. Construction on this ornate building began in 1893. The cornerstone was laid earlier the following year, and the City Hall was dedicated in December of 1895. Across the street from us is the Pabst Theater. It was built in 1895 and brought theater to the city of Milwaukee. After more than 100 years in operation, the Pabst is one of the oldest theaters in the country that has seen continuous use since its first performance. The Pabst was built at the request of Frederick Pabst. He had previously owned the Neuenmacher Grand Opera House, which was destroyed in a fire. The Pabst was built on the same site as the Neuenmacher in this German Renaissance revival style. When the building was constructed, it included all electric lights, an electric organ, air conditioning, and fire curtains. All of these items were rare or revolutionary at its time. Across the street from us is the Milwaukee Electric Railway and Light Company building. It was constructed in 1905 and is now the headquarters of WE Energies. It's a 4-story beaux arch structure with a terracotta facade. As we head across the Milwaukee River, we're going to take a look at the Old World 3rd Street Historic District. But before doing that, we'll take another short walk along the Riverwalk and just take in some of the sights and sounds of downtown Milwaukee. We now head into Pierre Marquette Park. It's a small park in downtown Milwaukee named after Jacques Marquette, a French Jesuit missionary who explored the area in the 17th century. We're now heading into the Old World 3rd Street Historic District. From the 1850s through the 1920s, the commercial activities of Milwaukee's German community centered here on North 3rd Street. German immigrant entrepreneurs set up shop here, prospering in the decades after the Civil War, as Milwaukee evolved from an agricultural type community to one that provided more industrial activities. As business boomed, merchants tore down their wood frame stores and built larger, more costly brick and masonry buildings that we see here. Many of these buildings were built from the 1860s up through the 1880s. Ahead of us is the Fiserv Forum. It's a multi-purpose arena located here in downtown Milwaukee. It's home to the Milwaukee Bucks of the NBA and the Marquette Golden Eagles, which is the men's basketball team of Marquette University. This is a relatively new arena which opened in August of 2018.